Water is the element of memory, mystery, and movement. It is both a mirror and a veil, revealing and concealing in the same gesture. To work with the spirit of water is to descend into feeling, into memory, into the dreaming and undercurrents of self and the cosmos. It is an initiation not of fire and force, but of dissolution, immersion, and quiet knowing. Water teaches us to let go. It teaches us to listen instead of speak, to receive instead of direct, to feel instead of judge. It is the element of the womb and the grave, of tides and tears, of reflection and rebirth. In nearly all spiritual traditions, water is seen as sacred, a threshold medium between worlds, a carrier of spirits, and a vital source of cleansing and life. Today, we are going to explore the esoteric nature of water, its associated spirits and deities, magical correspondences, practical rituals, and the ways modern practitioners, particularly techno-mystics, can engage with its energy meaningfully and deeply. Water in classical philosophy is cold and wet, receptive, mutable, and connective. It is not bound by rigid shape, but instead takes the form of its container. It erodes stone, carves canyons, carries ships, and sinks empires. Where fire is will, water is emotion and adaptability. It flows where it can, reshapes where it must, and floods when restrained. Water is associated with the west, the setting sun, and the season of autumn, moments of decline, release, and harvesting what lies beneath. In the human body, water rules the blood, lymph, womb, bladder, and tears. Psychologically, it governs emotion, intuition, memory, dreams, empathy, and the subconscious. Unlike fire, which transforms through burning, water transforms through absorption, purification, and dissolution. In water's world, nothing is solid. Everything is fluid, layered, and alive with undercurrent. To enter water is to surrender what is known and allow something else to emerge, something older, deeper, and far less predictable. In many magical systems, the spirit of water is personified as undines, elemental beings of lakes, rivers, and oceans. These spirits are alluring, mysterious, and emotionally intense. They draw practitioners into states of trance, seduction, sorrow, or rapture. They are the voices of the mist, the pull of tide, and the call of the deep. In ceremonial traditions such as the Golden Dawn, water is ruled by the archangel Javriel, the divine messenger and guardian of thresholds, birth, and revelation. Javriel holds the cup of mysteries and presides over all matters of feeling, prophecy, and transition. The elemental king Nixa, sometimes called Nexa, is said to rule the domain of water among the watchtowers. In folklore, the spirits of water appear as mermaids, nixies, sirens, sulkies, naiads, and underground water dragons, each one a liminal being, both beautiful and dangerous. Working with them requires sensitivity, respect, and emotional integrity. In shamanic traditions, water is often the gateway to the underworld or the ancestral realm. Rivers must be crossed, wells must be peered into, oceans must be navigated in dreams. The spirit of water is thus a psychopomp and a mirror, guiding us inward and downward into the truths we hide, even from ourselves. Just as the Earth's surface is mostly water, so too are we. The human body is a tide. Our emotions are its waves. Our subconscious is its abyss. To work with the spirit of water is to enter into a non-linear, symbolic, and sensory language, the language of feeling, archetype, and story. Water stores memory. This is true biologically, and for many occultists, it is spiritually true as well. Holy wells, sacred springs, and rivers running through ancient groves are often said to remember, those who drink from them. Similarly, water used in ritual, if charged with intent, can record that energy and act as a magical transmitter. Dreamwork, trance, and divination are all acts of swimming into the inner ocean. When the practitioner invokes the spirit of water, they invoke the psychic faculty of receptivity, the ability to feel deeply, to see symbolically, and to hold paradox rather than resolve it. This is what makes water essential in magic. It is the womb of gnosis, the place where ideas gestate, where spirits speak in symbols, and where transformation begins, not by force, but by opening. Water's ritual tool is the chalice or cup, symbol of the womb, the cauldron, the grail. It is the container of sacred experience, the vessel of the unknown. In many systems, the cup is associated with the heart, the emotional body, and the ability to hold sacred space. Some other correspondences would include, in terms of colors, blue, indigo, silver, sea green. Scents would be jasmine, myrrh, sandalwood, rose, lotus. Stones would include moonstone, aquamarine, pearl, sodalite, and amethyst. Animals include fish, frogs, whales, otters, serpents. Plants, willow, water lily, aloe, lotus, ivy. Deities, Yamaya, Aphrodite, Tiamat, Isis, Poseidon, and Breach, specifically in her healing aspect. And planets, Moon and Neptune, and in terms of zodiac, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These correspondences can be used to evoke water's presence, build rituals, or anchor your workings in this element's energy. When you decorate your altar or choose materials for spellwork, allow these symbols to guide your intuitive connection with water. Water rituals tend to be immersive, emotional, receptive, and dream oriented. They help the practitioner soften resistance, deepen connection, and open to inner wisdom. A few examples may include moon water charging, where you place a bowl or bottle of clean water under the light of the moon, especially a full moon or a moon in a water sign. Speak your intention, let the water absorb the lunar current. Use it later in baths, anointings, or libations. You may also want to try emotional release baths. Run a warm bath, add herbs, oils, or salts, submerge fully. Speak aloud or silently what you wish to release, whether that be grief, regret, rage, longing. Let your tears, if they come, merge with the water. As you drain the bath, visualize your burdens leaving your body and spirit. You might also want to try some water bowl divination. Gaze into a bowl of still water, enter a receptive state, ask a question, allow images, impressions, or sensations to rise without forcing interpretation. Spirit of water answers in subtle ways. Learn to trust the feel rather than the form. Make offerings to water or to the waters. You can bring flowers, shells, or biodegradable offerings to a river or sea. Whisper prayers and gratitude or longing. Let the spirit of water carry your words beyond the known. This act builds relationship. Don't ask without giving. Then, when invoking the West or water, face West. Call upon Javriel, King Nixar, Leviathan, or the water spirits. Speak words of feeling, intuition, and healing. Ask to be cleansed, opened, and deepened. Raise the chalice. Drink symbolically. Allow yourself to be changed. The power of water lies in its depth, but its danger lies there too. When unbalanced, water becomes obsession, emotional instability, passivity, or illusion. Too much water can lead to melancholy, escapism, or dissociation. The line between intuition and delusion, empathy and enmeshment is very, very thin. Magicians working with water must develop emotional discipline, not repression, but awareness. Emotional honesty, self compassion, and boundaries are essential tools. Water must flow, but it must also be contained when needed. A flood destroys what a gentle stream nourishes. After intense water workings, engage in grounding. Eat grounding food, walk barefoot, speak aloud your experience to anchor it in the language. Journal, but don't dwell. Feel, but don't drown. Water teaches surrender, but not self-erasure. Water has found strange new forms in the digital world. The flow of data, the liquidity of online identities, all echo water's qualities of fluidity, reflection, and immersion. In techno-mystic practice, water manifests through dream databases and AI-generated dreamscapes, emotion tracking apps, and biometric feedback loops, streaming content as collective emotional waveforms, digital anonymity, and avatar fluidity, and shape-shifting identities, AI trained on memory, language, and symbolism. Water is the element that governs emotion-rich data. Every post, comment, or image shared online carries emotional resonance. As magicians, we can learn to read these flows not as noise, but as divination streams, cultural waters reflecting collective dreams and fears. Techno-mystics can build digital water altars, work with emotional AI servitors, or use the flow state in creative work to channel the spirit of water. But as with physical water, discipline and discernment are required. Not everything that flows is truth. Not every current leads to clarity. To work with the spirit of water is to commit to a path of emotional truth, psychic depth, and intuitive power. It is not always comfortable. Water brings us face to face with what we avoid, but it also heals. It smooths what is jagged, nourishes what is dry, and reveals what is hidden beneath. In a world that pushes productivity and speed, water calls us to slow down, to feel more, to dream again. It reminds us that not everything can be solved or shaped. Some things must be allowed to flow, to unfold, and to wash over us. When we invoke water, you are calling to the Mother of Depth, the Oracle of Dreams, and the Wound Healer. You are entering the temple of reflection, where even pain becomes wisdom and silence becomes a song. Drink deeply, submerge willingly, let the river carry you, not away, but inward. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this month's look at the elements. And next month we'll be doing Earth, which will be the final of the four. And then we'll just carry on with something else after that. All right, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.